Oh wait, I'm coming.
Blow
I'm
them
coming.
up. They're
I'm
dead.
coming.
They're dead. Dragonair's dead.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh my god!
I was breathless, my heart restless. Every time
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kill him! Kill him! Oh my god! No!
to my own song, but you came, you made me see the weight I put on me was too much, too tough to heal. I needed time.
Nope.
I needed
87! I'm going for it. Oh my god, I had to hit it! Dude, the fact that I landed that first try. Come on. Yes!
No!
It turned into energy ball! Yes! Let's go!
My name is Angie Yonaga. I'm the ultimate artist.
Okay, we should be good to go. Should be good to go. Okay, I see Himiko in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Let's just do a little test real quick. You guys can just let me know, is the audio good? Can you guys hear the music? Can you guys hear me? Is everything looking good? Are we dropping frames? Anything of the sort, just let me know. And hopefully everything's going good. Just going to try to make sure that everything is going right. Just talking about bitrate, but I think we should be good. I think we should be good. How's your guys' day been? Okay. Yes, Angie. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Angie today. I think the next stream we'll talk about Miyu. Good. What about you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I got me some water right here. I'm chilling. I was playing some Rebirth the Souls. Just off stream. I think I'm gonna play the rest of it off stream. But yeah, I've been doing good. Just hanging out, getting some things ready. Obviously, we hit 1K. I don't know if you guys saw the news, but we hit 1K subs. So that was literally amazing. I was literally always like on my phone, just trying to refresh and wait till it finally hit 1K. I truly cannot believe. I cannot believe that we did that. It's absolutely insane. So huge thank you to all of you guys. But yeah, man, it's been great. Congratulations, by the way. Thank you so much. So yeah, we'll be doing the Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke coming in. We'll be starting that up next week. And I don't know if I would do like 2 streams for it or if I would just do 1 for now. We'll just kind of see. We'll just start it off, right? Just get a good start on it and just do 1, and then afterwards I'll probably like move it up to 2. So that could also mean maybe less Danganronpa streams sometimes, just because that was something that I did promise everyone. But we'll definitely still be doing some Danganronpa stuff every now and then, and be doing some streams. But I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is every time we have another 1K subscriber special, so like 2K, 3K, all the way up to 10K, we'll do another generation of Pokemon, and I'll bring that up. I'll probably do like a post or something like that. But yeah, we can kind of just get started here. I just kind of allow people to get in. I know I kind of started it a little bit earlier, and I didn't have the stream up and ready. I didn't know if I was going to stream it today or tomorrow. So I won't bring up this important news to you guys, is that I don't know if I'm going to be doing the schedule too much anymore. Not because I'm going to like stop it completely. It's just because right now, me and my family, we're in the process of like moving and getting stuff like that ready. So sometimes I may not be able to stream because we're like doing some stuff with the house and everything. So with that said, I won't have a definite time on when I'll I'll be live. It should still be roughly the same. I'm hoping that it will be, but there might be some days where I had to like cancel the stream or anything like that. So with that said, I won't make any promises on the schedule because I truly don't know what's gonna happen. There might be days I can't be here, or I had to go do stuff. So tomorrow I had some stuff that I had to do, so for that reason I moved the stream to today, just to make sure that we can get this out. But we can go ahead and start talking about Angie. You guys can also give me your like first thoughts. Like what is your guys' like initial thoughts on Angie? What do you guys think? Because I'll be honest, when I was doing a lot of research, or like going into do the research of Angie, I didn't really care. I didn't really care for Angie. She's not like the worst character ever, but she's definitely not like a character I really think highly of. She's not like even in the mid tiers. I think she's like below average. But honestly, I kind of feel like it changed my opinion just a little bit doing a little bit of research. And this is also why I love doing these analysis streams and videos and stuff like that, is because sometimes I can kind of get a different outlook on the character sometimes, looking at it. And we'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end. I'll just kind of go over briefly about her character, and then we can kind of talk about Angie as a whole. So obviously, what most people know, she lived on an island in the middle of the ocean, where the people worship Atua. The island was heavily damaged. I think there was like a bunch of severe storms and stuff, and it destroyed parts of the island. Maybe some people died. I don't know if they go over that, if anyone died, but the island was destroyed, and then it became like a little bit of a smaller island. But the people there worshipped Atua, and they performed non-lethal, I need to say this right now, non-lethal blood sacrifices for their god Atua, which is actually something I did not know. That was a little disturbing to know that they did blood sacrifices. For some reason, I completely forgot that, because she literally says that to both Kaede and Shuichi. She was like, hey, do you guys mind if I take like some of your blood so I can give it to Atua? And they're like, no. Like, no, you can't. What? But yeah, they do some blood sacrifices, and then they also have a mail order website called Deep Sea, and they would order things like magazine, food, medicine, and this is where it gets a little bit weird. They order children, they order blood, and even organ meat. At least that's what it says. That's also very concerning. Again, you kind of get a little grossed out by what the people were doing on this island. And Angie convinced herself that she was the Oracle, and she would pretty much command the people on the island by Atua's command, and would throw like festivals because she was lonely and stuff like that. And this is actually something I do want to come back to later, so try to remember this moment of her believing that she's the Oracle and like throwing these festivals because she was lonely. I do want to talk about this a little bit later, because I actually think it's actually a little bit important to maybe who she really is. I feel like we don't truly know the real Angie. So, and obviously, like I said, in first chapter, she like talks to Shuichi and Kaede. First chapter, she also doesn't do that much. A lot of characters really don't do much, because they're kind of focusing on Shuichi and Kaede and their bond, and them going around trying to like solve everything. So you don't really focus on too many characters here. But she tries to tell Himiko to believe in Atua and stuff like that. And this is where you kind of get to see kind of the rivalry between her and Tenko, because Tenko obviously really likes Himiko. I mean, hey, Himiko's in the chat. Himiko's awesome. And she kind of gets jealous of like the attention that Angie's kind of getting from Himiko, and whatnot. But I do love Himiko's line to both of them, where it's like Tenko's like, "Oh no, you got to get into Neo Aikido," and then like she's like, "No, believe in Atua," and then you got Himiko. She's like, "I'm sorry, but that's just too much work." She's literally the Shikamaru of the group, and it's absolutely hilarious. And then Angie was one of the few people that actually joined Kaito's group. And the reason for this was because Kaito thought, well, if Atua is actually real, it might be a good thing to have Atua on our side. Having a god and a deity on our side might actually be a little bit helpful. And this is actually one of the few times you actually see Kaito kind of like using his brain a little bit. Like, I actually really like this plan, because like obviously he got like Gonta, he got Tenko, he got Maki. Like, he got these people that he thought would actually like help in the fight, like people that could actually muscle up. I think he may have also got Kibo or whatever. But he also got Angie, and he was thinking like a little bit more logically here. He's like, well, Angie's not a fighter at all. She probably can't fight worth the shit. But if she does have a tool on her side, having that with us in this attack against the Monokubs, the Monokuma, and the Exosouls, that's going to be really, really good. That's going to be a really smart decision. So having that would have to be really, really good. And then we get to Rentaro's death. And Angie is actually one of the few people that really does not care. She's not really bothered, or she doesn't show any care towards Rentaro's death. And what I wrote down was that she could maybe be used to this. Like, she's maybe used to the fact that people had died. Like, she's not really bothered by death. It doesn't really scare her. And there's a couple reasons for it, and I'll kind of talk about that later. Also, what's up, Shad? Good to see you. Just doing another Danganronpa stream. Also, for people to know what I'm planning on, I'm hoping that on the weekends I can still stream, but I should be doing a Pokemon Unite stream like usual on Sunday, and then on Saturday we should be able to do, I'm going to do like a Cartoon Network tier list of all the different shows, because we were talking about that the last Pokemon Unite stream. So you guys have like some of your favorite Cartoon Network shows, and maybe you want to join up and like talk about that stuff with me and whatnot. We'll be doing that on Saturday, or at least I hope so. So that'll be a lot of fun to do as well. So again, first chapter, she doesn't do that much, but you can kind of get a little bit of an inclination on who she is. Then we get into the second chapter, where she kind of gets a little bit more involved, I would say, like, because she's the one who hosts Himiko's magic show here. She was also kidnapped by Gonta in the insect meet and greet. I've never played this. Don't worry. This is mainly for my Danganronpa fans that I try to do. It's definitely not a game that everyone has played, for sure. I definitely think most of my fans are, you know, within the Pokemon realm. But it's definitely a fun game. It's a fun game. It's a very fun game. But yeah, I don't blame any of my non-Danganronpa fans that maybe have not played this. If you guys are interested or whatnot, I don't blame you. This is mainly for my Danganronpa fans. I'm doing this for them. But don't worry, I still will do Pokemon content as usual and whatnot. And don't worry, also next week we will be doing the Hardcore Nuzlocke on Pokemon Emerald, because we hit 1K subs. So just be on the lookout for me. Hit me. But going back to the magic show, she got kidnapped by Gonta for the insect meet and greet. And you know, Angie obviously hosted the magic show. She's helping like set it up. It was her, Himiko obviously, and then Kurumi, who obviously ends up murdering Ryoma here with the use of the magic show. She was also helping out with the preparations and whatnot, because she was kind of working behind the scenes. Now, Angie does actually find a flashback light in chapter 2 with Shuichi, and I actually do want to talk about this real quick, because it's very obvious that Angie kind of has a crush on Shuichi, but I kind of like that it happened after Kaede died, because I feel like Kaede obviously, like, maybe they were kind of warming up to each other, and like no one really like made any moves on them when they were both alive. But then after Kaede died, then you see, like, you know, Angie kind of, like, flirts with Shuichi, like, tries to hang out with him more. So I just kind of find that a little comical. But she actually really likes Shuichi. And I haven't seen her Love Hotel event or anything like that. So I don't know, like, that kind of, like, enhances that or goes into more depth with that. But Angie definitely likes Shuichi. I actually am also curious, to all my Danganronpa fans, how many of you guys are, like, really into, like, do you guys ship them? Do you guys not like them together? Like, what's your guys' opinion on Angie and Shuichi? Because again, I've always thought that Shuichi and Kaede were really, really cute together. So that would be mine if I had one. But Angie definitely has some type of feelings for our little detective boy. I don't ship them. I honestly, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I don't ship them either, but I think it's obvious that Angie feels that way towards him, at least. It's a very one-sided thing, if anything else. But it's also kind of cool to see, it is kind of cool to see, like, that was kind of, it was one of the first things where, like, she doesn't really rely on Atua. It's not like, oh, Atua makes her believe that she's in love. It's like, no, she actually, like, kind of likes him. I did kind of like that, though. It's kind of like pulling her away from her normal ideology. I prefer Angie and Himiko. Really? I guess I could kind of see that. I feel like if you were gonna do either of them, I think Himiko and Tenko obviously makes more sense. I think just because Tenko is a lot more protective of her, and was always like trying to help her in that way. But I guess I can also see that as well. Obviously we had the pool scene with everyone, and whatnot. But this is also it's actually. Here's the funny thing. It's funny that you bring up that this is the best Angie ship, because in the trial, Angie immediately suspects that Himiko was the person who killed Ryoma, which angers Tenko because, and obviously Angie's like, well, yeah, Atua told me that it was Himiko, so Himiko's the culprit. I don't know what you want from me. So like, it's funny that you're like, yeah, I would probably ship Angie and Himiko, and then Angie wanted to kill Himiko thinking she was the culprit. I had to find that a little bit funny. I find that pretty funny. But obviously, it's not Himiko. They end up figuring out. Obviously, Angie's just kind of being led by Atua, or so she believes. And then this is where we get into the final chapter. And this is probably the chapter where I think a lot of people really weren't liking her character. I know I was not really liking her character in chapter 3. I thought up to chapter 1 and 2, she wasn't that bad. She was just kind of like, just kind of whatever. Not a bad character, not a good character, I would say. But like chapter 3 kind of made me not like her as much, because she was definitely starting to be a little bit more forceful of her ideology. Ideology? What the hell did I just say? Her ideals. She was definitely being a little bit more forceful here, where she starts the student council with some of the students still alive, and kind of takes control over everything, right? She kind of like with the island, she kind of brainwashes everyone to listen to her and Atua as a way to stop the killing game, which obviously the reason why she's doing it, she has good intentions, but the way she went about it definitely wasn't the right way. So I guess to be a little bit fair to her and to kind of defend her a little bit, it's a little bit unfair to like get completely mad at her and completely hate her for this. And I've even understood this is because she's trying to do it for a good reason. But I definitely think the way she went about it definitely wasn't the right way. And it kind of just ruins that character that we kind of initially started off with, and whatnot. Especially since this ended up being her last chapter. It just kind of sucks that this is kind of how they wanted to end it off. I don't think it was really the smartest way, because then she even destroys one of the flashback lights, like, again, to further stop any possible future conflicts and whatnot. And then she was also trying to perform a ritual to bring the dead back to life, and even knew about Tenko like betraying the student council and everything. And then eventually, because she was trying to do the ritual, she had these stumbles across Korekio doing his plan to try to murder one of them, and then she gets murdered in the process. This is obviously the last time you see Angie, and Angie was kind of oblivious. She was like looking around. She said, "Wow, Korekio, like this is like nice work." Like she kind of like complimented him on his like murder plan. He was like, "This is a pretty nice murder plan you got going. I like it. Got some nice drawings on the floor. It's pretty nice." And then she gets bonked on the head and murdered. So obviously Angie really is a little naive, but again, I feel like it's a little light humor, kind of like with Kaito. You can kind of poke fun at it and just have fun with the naive part of their character, I would say. But this is where I really wanted to get into it, right? Because obviously we just kind of breezed through everything with her character. Here's what I really wanted to talk about, and I really want to know what you guys think, because I don't know if maybe I am just like throwing out another headcanon like with Kokichi and whatnot, but I think Angie may have made up Atua. And honestly, I also wonder if she made up the people on the island. And here's what I mean by this, right? Because they talk about that she survived this storm on her island, right? She survived the storm, and they don't really talk about like how many people died or anything like that. And I thought that was a little bit strange, right? Like this terrible island, it destroyed parts of the island. The island got a lot smaller. right? But they don't really talk about the people on the island that much, right? They don't really bring up anyone specific. I don't think. And I don't know how many times we've heard her talk about her family. Maybe there was something that maybe I missed, but we also don't get to see her motive video, right? We don't get to see the monopad that reveals like the people that she cares about, which honestly, it probably would have just been like, oh, it's Atua, right? It could have just been that because that's all she talks about, but she doesn't really talk about like her family, any friends, or anything like that. And so it got me thinking, okay, so she doesn't really talk about anyone that she cares about. We don't get to see her motive video, so we don't know if there's anyone still left. It could have just been Atua. So it makes me wonder and say, okay, well, did the storm maybe kill everyone? Or did it kill her loved ones? And maybe that's why earlier she was feeling lonely. Because if the storm, let's say maybe it damaged her home, right? And she was able to survive, but her family died. Then that would explain why she feels so lonely and she kept throwing these festivals to try to maybe forget about the loss of her family, right? She kind of forgot about it and try to not really, I guess you could say live in denial of the fact, but like, it's not that she's denying their death, it's that she's trying to not really think about it. And what you could have maybe done, or what maybe could have been what they were trying to go for, is that Atua is this god that she believes looks after her, right? And everyone else. So she kind of makes up this Atua. She kind of takes control of the island, right? And she tells them like, oh, Atua is the one that saved us. She is this powerful god. She made this statue like we see like in one of the little like not panels, but it's when they're doing like the character introduction. She's like making the statue. I even have it on the thumbnail and everything. Like she has a statue of Atua. So it's like maybe she made it and she's like, yes, Atua will protect us. He's the reason why we're alive. We need to praise Atua. And the townspeople, maybe because they're scared or anything, just kind of believed her, right? They just kind of believed in what she was saying. They just kind of took it for face value. And so that's how she was kind of able to not only control them, was because she made them believe in this actual deity, this god that looked over them. And she just kind of used it as a way to control the people, throw these festivals, not feel lonely because she lost her family and whatnot. And she actually had a little bit more of a tragic backstory. Again, it's more of a headcanon, but like it was making me wonder and say, well, we don't really know much about her family. I wonder why. And maybe this could have been that. Maybe they thought about something like this, but they cut it or something. I don't know. It was just something that I thought about, because it would also explain why she's not bothered by death. You know, like when Taro died or any of the other characters died, she never really seemed bothered by any of it. Like she's kind of used to it. So again, it kind of goes back to like, well, the storm like maybe killed her family or killed a bunch of people on the island, and so because of that, she uses, like, she's not only been used to it, but she just uses Atua as this kind of coping mechanism. So again, it's just something to think about. I think that could maybe be something that really happened with her character, where like the island was really devastating, and it really took a really big hit on her like mental and her emotional state, and so she was kind of suffering because of everything that happened. But again, I'll just kind of let you guys think about it. I'm kind of rambling, I'm kind of yapping at the mouth right now. I don't know what you guys think about that, right? It was just something that like after looking at everything, I was like, is there something here that maybe kind of like makes her character a little bit more likable? And maybe this could be that. I don't know. Again, could just be headcanon, but I thought it could be like an interesting theory of her backstory. Maybe that they just don't really talk about or reveal. It is on. So that's something I've been thinking about. But also, I don't know, like, besides her hanging out with like some of the people in the student council, she doesn't really have any close friends at the school. And it was that'd be a little off-putting, because obviously she hangs out with Himiko, she hangs out with Tenko, but like besides them, she doesn't really hang out with anyone. Like it never seems like she has a close bond with anyone. I guess she kind of had a close bond with maybe a few of the other, like maybe Gonta. You could argue she had a little bit of a close bond with. But I feel like besides Himiko and Tenka, she didn't really get too close with anyone and whatnot. And I was kind of hoping that maybe they would have to kind of do that. But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. So it's either maybe she made it up, maybe she made up like the people on the island, or maybe she truly did was maybe one of the only survivors. That still could have been interesting though. Like honestly, I think that would have added way more to her character of her being in such denial, or being in this bad mental state that she uses Atua as his way to kind of get over that. I don't know. I think that could have been kind of interesting. It was all. But honestly, I'm kind of interested to see what maybe you guys think. Because Angie's not really the best character in my opinion. I don't hate her, right? The Ultimate Artist, I kind of also wish we kind of got to see a little bit more of that as well with her character. You don't really get to see a lot with the Ultimate Artist and what she does. Obviously, she's pretty good at crafting, she's good at painting and everything. We do get to see that, but I wish it was kind of maybe utilized a little bit more, because I feel like with just about every character, you get something, right? Obviously, we know Maki's a really good assassin. Kokichi, we kind of learn about him, but he's a really good liar. So I guess maybe we don't get to see much of his ultimate. His ultimate is kind of out there. Gonta, we get to see. Yeah, I feel like out of everyone, Angie's kind of the one we don't get to see that much of. I guess again, barring Kokichi, you don't get to see much of it. Or actually, I guess Rintaro, because Rintaro literally died. Literally died at the very start. So I guess you could also say that, but I would have liked to see a little bit more with Angie as well, since she, at least got to chapter 3. But I don't know. I think that could have also been a little interesting to see a little bit more of that, to get more from her character and her ultimate. And especially since she only talks about Atua, it's a little bit harder to get invested in her character when that's kind of what it centers around. And I wish we got a little bit more. I wish maybe the bond she had with Himiko and with Tenko kind of brought that out of her. Kind of brought out more of who she really was and how she really feels. And maybe we could get to see a moment where not necessarily she doesn't believe in Atua anymore. I wouldn't want to see that, but for her to kind of think on her own, not to have to always be oh, what does Atua think, and then Atua just tells her kind of whatever, which again, she pretty much kind of makes it up, I wonder if Atua is an actual god. I actually don't know. Let's see if I can look this up real quick. I'm actually kind of curious right now. I want to know, is Atua an actual god, or was it truly something that was made just for her? Danganronpa. There we go. Let's see if it's real. In the context of okay, more about the power or strength and ancestral influence than a single god. Okay. Means power. Okay, so that's actually interesting. So Atua in Polynesian languages means power or strength. Honestly, that kind of goes. Maybe that can kind of work with the theory that I was having, where it's she uses it to overcome some of her struggles, and I guess for that moment where she lost everyone on her island, right? She was feeling weak, she was feeling lonely, and so she uses Atua to kind of give her strength. Maybe you can kind of read into it like that. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. It's very interesting. Why is this pulling up? Why is my battle.net pulling up? What the hell? That was super weird. But again, you guys let me know. Like, I'm actually like really curious what you guys think as well. Either in the comment section if maybe you guys weren't able to join the stream, or in the stream. Let me know what you guys think about that. Like, do you guys think Atua is real? Do you guys think it's fake? What do you think about it meaning like power? Does that like have any influence on Angie as her character, or is it just, you know, just whatever? It's just kind of a name that they use. Because I feel like it has to mean something, right? Like, they wouldn't just choose Atua just willy-nilly. So I feel like it has to be used for something. I think it probably has to do with her backstory, right? With everything that happened on her island being hit by all the storms, that she kind of used it as strength, or like her people used it as strength to like overcome everything that happened there. I think that could also be another way to look at it, which again kind of is understandable why she's she relies so much upon Atua, is because, well, Atua is literally the one that helped her out of like these many struggles that she has, right? Which again obviously can relate to other religions, not just Atua. It can relate to, like, you know, actual Christianity and stuff like that. I don't want to get too much into religion now, because I definitely don't want this to be a religion discussion. But I think that's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool to look into that a little bit and try to understand just a little bit more of who she is. So I think it's a very interesting. I think honestly, after looking into a lot more of who Angie is, it really does make me look at her a little bit differently. I definitely don't think she's as bad as what maybe even I was thinking, and I definitely think she's a slightly underrated character, because there are some things that are definitely likable, right? And she has some traits that aren't like that bad. It maybe is a little annoying and old of her always bringing up Atua, but I think again, maybe once you kind of understand it, it could make a little bit of sense why she always brings it up, you know? So I think maybe people could go a little bit easier on her, but I definitely don't think she's like the best character or anything. I don't think it like fixes anything at all. It is what I would say. But we hit the 30-minute mark, which is pretty good. It's more like an actual like YouTube video length and talking about her. But again, I still wanted to get the stream out. Obviously, for characters like this, I don't think I'm gonna have a lot to talk about, but I'll definitely still be doing some in the future. So obviously, to all my Danganronpa fans, to be on the lookout for that, because I will be back to do more. But with that said, without further ado, I will see you guys next time. I think next time we're going to do Miyu. I think Miyu will be a really interesting character to really delve into. Because I already know I'm going to have a lot of cringy things I have to read into her character. And I'm probably going to want to rip my eyes out after everything. But we'll have to talk about it. It's just is how it is. It is what we got to do. So, obviously, we'll talk about that, not tomorrow, but on Friday. We will be doing the Cartoon Network tier list on all of our favorite shows, or my favorite shows. I'll be doing that one by myself, but I'll also see what you guys think. I definitely think that'll be kind of a fun stream. And then Pokemon Unite every Sunday. Again, huge thanks for the 1K subscriber. That is still just, it's so insane to me that we actually hit that. It's so insane. So huge thank you to all you guys for that. And I will see you guys next time. See ya. Have a good night, everyone.